Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to touch on our range of leashes that we've developed over the years. Recently we've introduced a new leash to our range. Basically what we've tried to do is give you a leash for everything you need on a kayak, also starting at the most affordable to what we call the deluxe. So we start off where we have a budget leash, then we have an economy leash, then we have a deluxe rod leash, then we have what we call a ski boat rod leash, but it obviously applies on kayaks as well, and then we have our deluxe paddle leash. So those are our 5 leashes in the range. What we'll do is we'll hand you over to Marcus, and Marcus is going to run through the different leashes, show you how they work, show the advantages over one leash over the other, and why we call one the budget, why we call one the economy, why we call the one deluxe. So it's pretty self-explanatory, and then you can see. So for the retailers out there and the guys trying to sell, we have a range of leashes that you can offer to your customers for all their needs.
Right guys, so I'm going to run through the different options Stealth has with rod leashes here. So we're going to start with the most basic, simple rod leash / paddle leash. There's a few different ways to attach them to the rods. All the Stealths come with saddles already fitted by the manufacturer, by Stealth. It's very easy to attach the rod leash, so you just go through the saddle, loop the rod leash on. These can be either permanently left on the kayak, during storage or whatever, or if you're fishing, you can attach them and wash them and take them off. What I do is I normally put a loop behind my reel, and I just clip it onto that loop when we're out there. The reason why we use rod leash is because rods are quite expensive nowadays, and it's not a case of you might drop it overboard, it's a case of when you're going to drop it off. So it's a bit of an insurance policy by having a rod leash on your rods. And again, I like this option because you can move the rod around. If you crisscross, you can just quickly unclip it and attach it. Okay, so that's your one style of rod leash. If we go to something a little bit different, we've got clips on both ends. Again, it can just clip on there. Again, it can clip onto there, behind the reel. The nice thing about the double clip one as well, these are not just for fishing kayaks. I mean, they can be used on fishing jet skis. They can be used on ski boats, so like things like Tiagras and the Marlin rods and reels that have actually got clips on the frame of the reel. You can use this style of rod leash, whether you're sailing, ski boating, fishing, doesn't really matter. It's quite a universal leash. Okay, the next option is, again, this is the one with a loop. So this one just loops through the saddle. You pass the whole thing through, and again, this stays permanently attached to the boat. So yeah, I mean, you can get a little bit more wear and tear, obviously, on these ones with it staying on the boat and leaving them permanently attached. Again, this just goes around the rod above the reel seat. It's just a Velcro leash, same as like a surfing leash or bodyboarding leash. And why you put it above the reel so it doesn't slide off, obviously, underneath the butt. Another thing is there's an eyelet over there, so your lure, when you're fishing, can actually connect onto that loop and stay stored like that, so you don't have your hooks free swinging around. So that's what that eyelet there is for. Again, this is your next deluxe rod leash that's up in the range, and then we go right to the ultimate rod leash that Stealth makes. Is the one with a clip, so obviously it's got the fast attachment to the saddle. It's got a pivoting swivel, so to stop tangles when you're moving a rod around, it pivots around there, and it's got the double secure way of attaching it to the rod. So you've got one below the reel, one above the reel, and then obviously your eyelet where you can attach your hook or your lure onto it. The nice thing about this style of rod leash is you can attach it and it stays on the rod permanently. And I just attach that to the guide like so, and then the whole rod and the rod leash gets stowed away inside the kayak as so. And again, this has got the swivel, so it stops the tangling and the thing getting caught up. So that's the top of the range deluxe kayak fishing rod leash. Right down to your one that's got a single strap, your double clip, which is more universal. The guys use these for jet ski fishing, ski boat fishing, big game fishing, and then your entry level plastic kayak fishing leash. Again, this also with the Velcro here just eliminates having to put this little loop tag behind your reel seat. Again, guys, it's just a personal preference as to what style rod leash you want to go for. All of these work. They're all fantastic. They all got a different price point, so it's up to you and what you guys feel comfortable fishing with. Okay, guys, I'm going to go through the 2 different styles of paddle leashes that we sell here at Stealth. The entry-level one, this is a rod leash slash paddle leash. Okay, so obviously you can just loop that around the paddle, and then that you can connect wherever you want to. I mean, I normally just connect it on the inside of the hatch. There's loops and saddles, and there's lots of points where you can connect the clip. This is your basic entry-level paddle leash, just loops around the shaft, works brilliantly. To our deluxe one, which has obviously got a leash like a surfboard leash. It's a more secure way of attaching it to the paddle. So you go around, through there, pull that tight, and then you've got your attachment there. You can either put a clip and you can clip it on, you can loop it on wherever you want to loop it on. I personally attach my paddle leash onto the kayak, and I leave it attached to the kayak, and I just tuck it inside the hatch. So I loop it onto the saddle that's inside the hatch here. You can see it's just a loop to loop. When I'm launching and I'm beaching, I don't launch and beach with my paddle leash on. I think it's quite dangerous. If this catches onto you, it can hurt. So I leave it lying free inside the hatch. If I think the weather and the conditions are getting a little bit hectic, then, and I feel I need the need for a paddle leash, I will quickly attach the paddle leash on like so. And even if the hatch is closed, you can see, you just pull it so that it's clear. And you can quite comfortably still paddle. You're holding the paddle there with the paddle leash attached. And then when you come in, it's just a quick release, tuck it inside your hatch, and you're off to go. So those are the 2 options we have for paddle leashes here.